In this video, we're going to learn how to solve these basic repeated questions under electric power and energy. So we're going to practice with 10 repeated questions for this topic. Let's get started. The first question I have here says, a 1.2 kilowatt immersion heater is connected to a voltage supply of 240 volts. The resistance of the heater element and the current drawn by the heater are respectively. So guys, to solve this question, firstly, let's get the current. One of the formulas can apply to get current when power is involved is power equals IV. So in this question, we have in the parameter we have power to 1.2 kilowatts. So when you convert 1.2 kilowatt to watt, that's basically 1.2 times 1000. We're going to have 1200 watts. So this will give us 1200 equals, so our current is what we're looking for, our I. Our voltage is 240, so divide both side by 240 to make I. So the formula, so let's punch the calculator to see the output. So we have 1200, okay, divided by 240. So we have the current to be 5 ampere. Okay, so let's write it down. The current I to be 5 ampere. Now that we have the current, to get the resistance, now note that in power, one of the formulas can apply to get resistance is power equals I square R. Okay, or you can also use power equals V square over R. Any of them will work. All right, so let's make use of this one. We now have our current, so it's going to be 1200 equals 5 square R. So this is something now. 5 square is 25, so when divide both side by 5 square, so let's punch this on the calculator. We're going to have 1200 divided by 25. That output will be 48 ohms. So the correct option is option D. Let's check this second formula, power equals V square over R, where we have our V square to be 240. Let me show you that either of them will work. So this will give us 1200 equals 240 square over R. When it cross multiply, we're going to have 1200 equals R equals 240 square divided by 1200. So R will be, let's check on this calculator. So we're going to have 240. So we have 240 times 240. Okay, divide by 1200 is equal to 48. So either formula will work. Okay, so here our answer is option D, 48 ohms and 5 ampere. So that's for this question. Let's wipe this and solve the next question. So the next question we're going to experiment with will be this question. It says the heat produced in a conductor carried an electric is, we have option inversely proportional to the square of the resistance, current and time known, directly proportional to the square of the current, the resistance and the time. This is correct, option B, directly proportional to the square of the current, the resistance and the time. So that's it for this question. The next question will be this one. It says a 40-watt instrument has a resistance of 90 ohms. On what voltage should it be operated normally? So we are looking for the voltage. In this question, we can apply this formula to get the voltage. Since current is not given, we can use power equals V square over R, right? So our power is 40 equals our V is what we're looking for. So V square over R resistance is 90. When you cross multiply, you're going to have, let's punch this in a calculator, 90 times 40, so 3600. Alright, so you have 3600 equals v square. So you square root both sides, so remove this square. So square root of 3600 will basically give you 60 when you check it. Okay, so that will answer this question, 60 volts. The right option is option D. Let's wipe this now, solve the next question. Alright, so the next question will be this question. It says if the maximum voltage across a 100 ohms resistor is 20 volts, then the maximum power it can dissipate is. Alright, so in this question we don't have our current involved, so you can still use power equals v squared over r. Now guys, take note of this particular formula, very, very important. So you are looking for the power, it will not be v squared, that's 20 square over our resistance is 100. Okay, so 20 square will give you 400 over 100. So the maximum power it can dissipate will be 4 watts. 400 divided by 100 will give you what, 4, so that's 4 watts. Option C is the correct answer to this question. Okay, so let's wipe this now, solve the next repeated question. So the next repeated question will be this one. It says the resistance of a 220 volt 80 watt electric filament bulb is. We are still going to apply this formula since current is not involved. Power equals v squared over r. Okay, we are looking for the resistance, so our power is 80 equals our v is 220 square over, this is equal to r. So when you cross multiply, you're going to have 80 r equals, now 220 square, divide both sides by 80. So our resistance will be, so you have 220 times 220 divide 80. So sorry, let me write it this way. We have 220 times 220. Okay, divide this by 80. So we have 605. The correct option is option A. Alright, ohms. That will be the answer to that question. Let's wipe this now, solve the next repeated question. So the next repeated question will be this one. It says an electric iron is rated 1000 watt 230 volt. What is the resistance of each element? Now guys, before we start this question, if you are new to our channel, ensure that you subscribe to this channel for more of my videos. We really appreciate this. So we are still going to make use of this formula. As you can see, this formula is very important. Power equals v squared over r. So in this question, I'm looking for the resistance. So power is 1000 equals 230 square over r. When you cross multiply, this is r, guys. Okay, you're going to have 1000 r equals 230 square. Divide both sides by 1000. Okay, so the r will be, when you punch here, 230 times 230. Okay, divide this by 1000. So sorry, let me write this way. This is 230 times 230 divide by 1000. So you have the output to be 52.9 ohm. The correct option is option A. Okay, so that's it for this question. Let's write this and solve the next repeated question. The next repeated question will be this one. It says the fuse in an electric device is always connected to this. So this is a simple question. life side of an electric supply. That's the correct answer, option A. Next repeated question will be this question. It says a current of 20 ampere flows through a cable whose resistance is 5 ohm. Calculate the electric power dissipated. So in this question, current is involved. So we're looking for the power dissipated. So it's going to be power. You can use this formula, I square R. Okay, no voltage is involved. So power will now be 20 square times 5. So when you put into the calculator, you're going to have 20 square basically is 400, okay, times 5. So this will give you 2000. Alright, so 2000, if we want to leave it in standard form, this is the same thing as 2 times 10 to the power 3 watts. So the correct option to this question is option A. That's 2 times 10 to the power 3 watts. Alright, so that's it for this question. Let's write this now, solve the next repeated question. So the next repeated question with this one, it says an electric device is rated 2000 watts, 250 volt. Calculate the maximum current it can take. So we are looking for current. We can use this formula, power equals IV. So we have the power is 2000 equals our voltage is 250. Okay, we are looking for I. The current divided both sides by 250. So basically 2000 divided by 250 will give you 8. So correct option will be option C. Let's verify. 2000 divided by 250. Alright, 8. So we have it to be 8 ampere. Let's wipe this now. So the last question before we call it a class. So correct option in this question is option C. Okay, so the last question here will be this one. It says when connected to a mains of 250 volts, the fuse rating in the plug of an electric device of 1 kilowatt is. So we're looking for the current basically. So for this question, we can still apply power equals IV. So we have the power 1 kilowatts. When you convert it to watt, that's 1 times 1000. So we have 1000 watts because we're looking for the current, and the voltage is here is 250. I divide both sides by 250. So the current will be 1000 divided by 250. We're going to have 4 ampere. The correct option is option D. This basically you can do problems involving electric power and energy for electricity. So practice with 10 repeated questions for this topic. Hopefully something interesting from the video. Let's go to the video, guys. If you are new to the channel once more, ensure that you are subscribed to this channel by hitting the subscribe button for more of our videos. Also like, share and comment on this video, tell how you feel or what I learned from this video. If you seem to have any specific questions to ask regarding what I've talked about in this video, feel free to leave your question in the comment section below and I'll ensure to give you a response. Also ensure that you're part of the channel membership by clicking the join button, where you'll be getting special information and help to simplify your academic work. Join us today. I'm glad you did. Having known that, click on the screen above and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.